He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jay Howard in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
A dump off now to Hill. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Marvin Lewis tries for it, but comes up empty. And the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. And now here comes Kansas City. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And they still need 8 yards for the first here on 2nd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line.
Well, Brandon, this is a former first-round pick, and he's been a bit of a disappointment in his career up till now, but he's still got room to grow. And this is an excellent play right here to come away with the football.
Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Justin Houston in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Dalton throwing on 2nd down. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And Dalton to throw. Brandon LaFell, the intended receiver. And that brings up 4th down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
And Nugent puts it through. And they double their lead, pushing it up now to 12-6. So they had great field position, but a 3-play drive that actually goes backwards, and then they kick the field goal.
And I think the key sequence in there, the key phrase you just gave us, a 3-play drive. Had the momentum, great field position, unable to move the football.
And now here comes Kansas City. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So this brings up a 2nd and 2.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them. In fact, some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Smith caught here by Conley. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. A big play there on the catch and run. 44 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Back to throw, Smith. He's got the hook up with Conley. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Smith going to throw on 3rd and 1. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Carlos Dunlap able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down. We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with a football, but with work to do on the scoreboard, they trail as we start quarter number 4. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. A dump off for Charles. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big time throw on 4th.
Now that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there and making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's 4th down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Man, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
Another shot here for Charles. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Jamal Charles, a 6-yard touchdown run. And now if the Chiefs hit the PAT, they will take the lead. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with it.
Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Jay Howard able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. 2nd down, Dalton. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
Well, that play's a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the 4th quarter, and they got a big one.
Yeah, it's such a close game, a very big one. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it that you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially.
Now they're going to try this again. It's another fake. Over the middle to Smith. And the fake will work. He's going to have a 1st down. It's a big play that time on the fake punt. And on 4th and long, somehow they're able to keep the drive going.
Okay, that was a fake punt, and it was successful throwing the football. I know you threw the football in your past off of a fake.
Yeah, but unsuccessful back in my high school days. Old Tim Jones dropped it, hit him right in the numbers. But I'll tell you what, these guys, they love this opportunity, don't they? A chance to get involved.
They certainly do, and many of them were quarterbacks or big-time players when they were in high school and college. So to get back doing what they did before, always fun.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. He went backwards there 8 yards, and it brings up 3rd down. And quickly, they get to the line. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Dalton now to pass. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
After that incompletion, I almost get the sense that he's going to look up at the booth and kind of look at us and say, hey, you guys got any suggestions? It's been that kind of game, hasn't it? They've had him on the run throughout.
Yeah, and I get that you're trying to make a play here losing fourth quarter, but to throw when you're not set with pressure coming could have been an interception.
Very much so, and it's been that kind of game for him. They've had him on the run, had him off balance. He's got to find a way to make some big-time throws down the stretch.
And now here comes Kansas City. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's third. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. From the gun on third down, Smith. He's got time. It's Hill, complete. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Out to the right here to Wilson. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It goes as a gain of 8 that moves the chains.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Charles the low setback. And they'll give it to him here. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll try to eat some clock now with Charles. And he'll be brought. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so 1 more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. Now it's the Princeton man. This is Spencer Ware. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, you know, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost. You can't find him, and sometimes...
Now, hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And they will take a knee here. Down to a knee, here goes Smith, and that should all but do it. Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very